Well, it was a close call today for a flight instructor and a student in Valdosta. The two making an emergency landing along I-75, and the pilot telling us he had no choice but to land that plane after the engine failed. Okay, luckily the two on board were not hurt. And whether or not you believe it, it's true. The plane does not have a scratch either. Our Amber Spradley reports pilot David Owens says this is a moment he's trained for.
The flight instructor tells me only about 45 seconds went by between the moment he noticed engine failure to when he landed the plane right next to the highway. This is what Interstate drivers saw just after the emergency landing. It was a narrow path to safety for this flight instructor and his student, and one tense ride they say they'll never forget.
The engine didn't completely quit, but it went to idle, below idle, and wouldn't come up to speed. And so I took control of the aircraft from the student, and the only option was Interstate. We couldn't make the runway. Owens was a helicopter pilot back in Vietnam with about 26,000 hours logged. He's also well trained in emergency landings. Shot down several times in Vietnam. And he's walked away from 2 crashes here at the Valdosta airport. But he says he's never experienced a technical issue quite like this one. This is the only single engine airplane failure that I've ever had, and I've been flying 58 years. As for his student, the Interstate landing marks about 2.5 hours of airtime for him, just starting out with his 3rd lesson. He said, that he understands why we do what we do in training and reinforce things, and he said, it's a lesson he'll never forget. It's not clear yet what went wrong inside the engine. It'll be inspected over the next few days. Owen says he was a little bit shaken up at first, but he did not have any time to be scared. In fact, he's climbing right back into another plane Tuesday evening for his next flight lesson. Reporting in Valdosta, Amber Spradley, WCTV Eyewitness News.
Who is this guy? He's like a legend, right? That's unbelievable. It would be a lesson I'd never forget either, I'll tell you that. The plane was immediately towed to a hangar at the Valdosta Regional Airport. Crews plan to inspect the engine this week.